Hello and welcome. It's Trucking Answers, and I'm just going to pop in quick here live and ask you who should pay for truck parking, since there's been some consternation in New York from the Trucking Association of New York about truck parking in the city. And I want to know who should pay for truck parking. The Trucking Association of New York says, hey, the people that should pay for it is the government. And so I want to know what you think about that. And so we will just pop in for a quickie, as they say on Kielbasa Monday, and see what's going on. So it's Mr. Plows here today. We got a poll going there too. Looks like so far 77% of people say the company and the truck owner. We got 15% say the government. That apparently Joe Biden is voting because we know he's a truck driver. So hello there. Mark Lindquist is here. Joan Harper, hello. Daniel is here. What's going on, Joe? Beanie Weenie Monday. Yeah, just for a quick one. Just a quickie, a.k.a. FU. What's happening afternoon? It's going to rain here very soon, so be careful about that. Boy, some big rain coming. Kent P., all my boss tells me save the receipt, use it as a write-off. Yeah, but you would have to itemize your deductions, and most people, unless they have a business, cannot itemize their deductions. So because you get a $12,000 standard deductions, you would have to have more than that to itemize. So yeah, tell the boss he should pay to park his own truck. My opinion is the owner of the unit pays to park the unit, no matter where it is, whoever that owner is. So whoever's owning it pays it, aka the trucking company. Agree. Roger Penske, yeah, we're just going to be in here for a short one today. See what's going on. Richard C., hello there. Henry, hey, what's up? The opening card, yeah. Hey, it's Kielbasa Monday, right? Doty Trucking, good afternoon. Short wiener, yes, exactly. It's cold today. So a million milers here, yeah. So where are we now? Have this changed? 84% say the truck owner, right, is where we are. Then the government, 11%, love it. Then the driver at 5%. So those are all company owners probably saying that. See, even in New York City, I looked it up conveniently for the people there, and you can get truck parking. You can pay for a spot, in somebody's yard or whatever. Now, it's expensive. Some of them I found were over $200 a day. All right, but there are lots where you can have truck parking, and that's the problem, is people are parking trucks in their yard or on the street there, and so everybody's griping about that, and the city finally is doing something about it, towing them away or whatever. And that's where this comes from. I want to know, what do people think about that? Now, Joan Harper's in Colorado. Wow. Nice. You really made some time. Joe, I'm already paying someone else's student loan. Why not have the government taxpayers pay for my parking? At least you'd get some of that back, right? You're paying student loans for some master's degree. If you saw that 80% of loans are for people with advanced degrees. Isn't that great? So somebody who's getting a master's degree or higher. Who pays for parking at the manhole? Oh, manhole, always free parking. Sit anywhere at your own discretion. That's Mr. Plow, the company should pay. Yeah, I think the owner of the truck pays. If you're an employee, certainly you shouldn't have any expenses in your job, Well, Bon, what's up, Mark and Trucking Answers fans? Good to have you back. It's good to be here. Mark, what do railroads do when they have too many rail cars? They find spots or scrap them. Exactly. Who pays for that? Nobody. Okay, almost forgot to hit the like button. I appreciate it. Can't be a short one on Roller Wiener Monday. Would that be a Vienna sausage? Oh, I should have done that, shouldn't I? See, not thinking. Try and do a show on Labor Day? Yes, when no one is laboring. Unfortunately, many people do have to labor that day. By voting government, I mean more rest areas on the interstates. Okay, well, all right, that's fair. I don't even know if the government should provide a rest area on the interstate. Why is the government doing that when this can be done by a private business? That's the thing of it. So we have 9% of the government, truck owner or company, and 87% and 4% for the driver. Yeah, I don't even know about rest areas. Does the government have to provide a rest area for people to park? I don't know. That's taxpayers paying for all that, as people do it. And why not let private industry take care of that kind of thing? How about that? Garrett, I work for large carriers and they refuse to reimburse me for truck parking. Nice. Tell the large carrier you should go work for, you're going to go work for a different carrier that does pay for it. Then not only should they reimburse you, they shouldn't even have any money out of your pocket. Employees shouldn't have to spend money on work things, when it's the truck. That's not my piece of equipment or whatever. That's their equipment. So, I'm even opposed to paying it up front. They ought to advance you the money for it. On 74 West in Indiana, there's a closed rest area that could be privatized. Yeah, exactly. Let's sell that thing to Burger King or whatever. I mean, why do we have closed spots where there could be parking and there's none because it's all blockaded off? That's not right. Me and Marla, my company only pays for parking if the company tells me to park at a specific truck stop and wait for a relay load. So they're kind of force you to pay truck parking at places where you go. The other solution, I guess, is to kind of quiet quit, as like it's been in the news. Park way away where you can find parking. Say, look, since you're not going to pay, I got to park somewhere free. So I got to park 6 hours away. I won't have any hours to get going anywhere. Problem is getting paid mileage, right? That hurts you. So they have it set up so that you'll do it. Precision Logistics, hello from Pennsylvania. One, I called next Monday up because I don't want to work on Labor Day. Good. The day you're supposed to labor, right? Parking is always in the rear. Always, all parking is at the rear. There's no parking in the front. Entrance is in the rear. It's some kind of zoning thing. Can't be on second thought. No, the Vienna sausage would slip through rollers. They have more tiny rollers for those. Donovan, hey, from rainy and windy Chicago. Yeah, I saw on the radar there's going to be a big storm. I'm going to take the bird feeder in here pretty soon. Luke, I bought a windshield side window shade from Amazon for $30 for the truck. That's awesome. Does it fit up in the thing or is it just kind of stick on? The ones that kind of jam up in the groove do a little better. Keith, some of the states out east are even charging $28 for parking space all night. Wow. Can you imagine rolling, 6 or 7 of those a week up out of your pay, $150 a week or more? Paul, happy Monday. Hello. What's going on? Just talking about truck parking today exclusively because I only have a short period of time. Parking should never have to be paid for the driver. Robert Gray. Exactly. That's what I say. The employee shouldn't have expenses in working. If they're going to provide a truck and it needs to be parked, I think the owner of the truck should pay to park it. Whatever that takes. The owner of the truck. Whoever owns the truck. Uncle D 1313. The government tells us when we need to sleep, they should pay for the spots they mandate us to use. Ah, nice. Very nice. That's an interesting way to do it. But still the owner... They don't tell you to sleep, just that you can't drive anymore, somewhat ironically. And we're up to company at 83%. Only 3% think the driver should pay it. That's 3 companies that have voted. And the government at 13%. So let's see where to go. Oh, rest areas in some states are DOT magnets. You know what? If you're sleeping, they should leave you alone. I don't know why they do that. They want you to get your rest, and then they go in and aggravate everybody, and nobody pulls in there. Luke, it fits pretty well, but it folds up in a nice bag for whenever I'm done with it. Oh, that's pretty good. They don't stay on the permanent. I pay for parking in a storage place by my house for the truck only because it saves me money to drive back and forth. $80 a month and save $50 because of gas. I think home time is a different story if they let you take the truck home. What I'm saying is work time, like you're out and have to sleep, and they send you wherever you're going, right? They say, go take a load here, and it's 1,000 miles away. You have to stop. Any expenses in getting the load there, including parking the truck, should be the owner of the truck. Roger Penske, the Pink Pussycat, it's liquor in the front, poker someplace else. Must be in Nevada kind of thing. Mark Link was the company hired the driver. Company owns the truck. Wherever the driver lives, the company should pay parking. Well, you could leave the truck where the company is. How about that? The other side of that, I guess, is where the trucking company is when you accept the job. That's the other side of that, I guess. So when you're off, you can leave the truck at the trucking company. And if drivers work or live hundreds of miles away, you know that as well, I guess. Cash King Trucking, hey, what's happening? Hey, taking the bird feeder. Tweety be dining today. Yeah, it was almost empty. I didn't fill it today because I knew it was going to rain. And so it's like a quarter full, and there were some birds out there. There was like I don't know what that yellow bird is, and there's a red cardinal out there. So Idle Air was a big bust. I loved it. All right, I was a big user of Idle Air. I would plan my trips on where Idle Airs were and park there. 76% now for company. 15% say the government should pay. Interesting. And driver only 9% now. DOT inspects you if you park at the scale and they catch you taking off without a PTI. See, if you're parked there trying to get some sleep, they ought to just leave you alone. Especially at scales where they really want you to park, like the big Kentucky scales. Hey, parking here, and they have a bathroom and everything. Just leave you alone in there, so at least you'll stop. Not my truck. Don't care what happens to the truck. Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I leave the truck with them just because I don't want to get aggravated by, taking it home and there's a problem or whatever. Plus, living in residential, I wouldn't bring it home. But I know some people have space for it. The other side of the living far away is you both know where you each are. And if they let you to take it home on your free time, it's kind of like a bonus benefit, I guess, to you that you don't have to commute with your own gas if they're allowing it. In some places even pay you to drive it home. Ooh, we moved up 77%. Only 3/4 of people think the company or owner should pay it. 9% for drivers and 14% for the government. I picked driver. Awesome. That's awesome. Let the driver pay it. For in your case, you do pay the truck parking if there is ever parking for you, which you do occasionally do pay for parking. Doty Trucking, who are the company owners in here voting that the driver should have to pay? Well, many people on here have already said that their companies make them pay for truck parking. They either don't reimburse or whatever, they make them pay for it. So there are companies doing this. That's why I'm curious about it. Corey, there are also issues with parking in some towns like mine. They don't allow you to park on any street. Walmart kicks you out. None of the stores allow it. Yeah, so leave the truck with the company is what I'm saying. Leave the truck at the company location. Should the driver or company pay for parking tickets? Well, you don't have to get a parking ticket. That's the thing. You could park the truck at the company legally, right? And don't park the truck illegally. Is what I'm suggesting. Coffee and Wheels, I pick company. Yeah, let the owner of the truck pay, which is what I'm saying. Whoever owns the truck, really, is what I mean. Company could be the company, or if you own the truck yourself, then it's your little company or whatever, or big company. You have a lot of trucks, I guess. Whoever's owning the truck totes the note, as they say, makes the payment. People are nuts. Always the owner. Yeah, now with it being so expensive, you can really start racking up some money. It's almost worth changing jobs if you have $100 or something a week where you're spending to park somebody else's truck. That's $5,000, a year that you could be using for other things, and you're using an unemployment expense that shouldn't even be yours. I think. Donkey Bite, I'm late. That's all right. We won't be here too long today. Liam, my employer pays for it as long as we don't abuse it. That's the way to do it, right? If you're parking at 2 p.m. and every day you get paid parking at 2 p.m., that's different. But, some days they run you out late, 10 p.m., there's no parking. You're going to have to pay. Let them pay it. It's still their problem. It's their problem. Garrett, don't we already pay the government for rest areas through fuel taxes? Yeah, kind of. But should they be? Should there be rest areas? What if the fuel tax was less and you didn't have a rest area and you had to stop at a gas station? That's the thing of it. Would that be better? Of course, if you didn't have rest areas, would they lower the fuel tax? No. Loss. Co-worker just got a fine in Ohio for 2 missing placards. $4,500 per placard that flew off. 9,000 Ohio. You should have had it taped. Look, running hazmat, I just have that spray glue. I peel the back of them off, stick them on there and also spray glue them, and then tape. Always tape the leading edge of placards. The edge, that the wind is going to blow off. I would tape those two edges down so that the thing would stay on there, because I was always worried about that. I didn't know it was $9,000. That's pretty strong. Meanwhile, I park my truck at my local Peterbilt dealership for $100 a month. That's a pretty good deal at the Peterbilt dealership. That they'll let you do that. Let's see, 81% now for company and truck owner. Driver, 7%, and the government, 12%. All right, so that's where we're sticking close to. Now we got 4 out of 5. Oh, California charges money. Man, that is... What did he do? Just stick them in the little holders that are on there and just flick that one little flick thing down there to try and hold it on there? That's not enough. That's not going to cut it. Even in the holder, you got to tape the leading edge of the side placard so they don't go anywhere. The one in the front's got to be taped, all 4, and the one in the back, all 4. That's what I think. Ken P., if drivers wouldn't leave their trash and jugs lying in the parking lot, there would probably be a lot more options. Yeah, that's why we get kicked out of Walmarts and all these other stores. That Meijer still lets people park there is really something. But you go in some Walmarts, it looks like a trash dump in there. It looks like San Francisco in there. It looks like the San Francisco sidewalks in some Walmarts. And so they're like, look, we don't want to clean all this up every day. Get out of here. So you can sort of understand it. Cash King Trucking. Buddy got towed from paid parking the other day. I gave him a ride to impound. Tow on 2 days impound was $2,400. Wow. Cheaper to park it in the river. Wow. Now, why did he get towed from paid parking? Had he not paid? That's kind of the implication here. Don't park the truck illegally? Is that legal advice? No. No, because I can't give legal advice, of course. It's just a good piece of advice, as I look over here for this. I'm not giving any legal advice to people, Certainly, if you have legal parking questions, you could talk to a licensed attorney of your choosing, like maybe the Hammer. It's just what I'm saying, that, people, because I hear that, well, Mark, I have to park illegally I'm going to get a ticket. Well, no. And I heard that, I don't know, several years ago on Landline Now, on their little podcast that I listened to. They were talking about truck budgeting for owner-operators, and they're talking about the different lines, fuel, truck payment, whatever. And one of the lines they budgeted was fines. And I always thought that was the dumbest thing. Who budgets for fines? How many fines do you get where, like, I'm going to figure $50 a month for fines and fees? No. Here's my illegal line item. I always thought that was the dumbest thing. You don't budget for fines. Use paid parking as a last resort. Look, if you can't, you got to use it. But I just think if you have to use it, that the owner should pay it as part of their expenses of running the equipment. So when I go to work and see something leaking, I can tell my company, unhook the trailer, check the truck in with the dealer, and go back home and get paid for it. Oh, that's even better. At least you got like a little thing going there. But look, that's the other thing about parking at a company, or really at the dealer, I guess, if the company will fix it. Anything that's wrong with the truck, you can get fixed while it's there. So it's sitting there, and I'm not there, so they can work on it. You can write it up. Hey, here's these 9 things that need to be fixed or whatever. It's a piece of junk, whatever it is. Make the median parking. You know what I always thought on new roads? They ought to make a lane, off to the side of the roads that goes along the road as far as it can, for miles maybe, and let people pull off into that lane and park where it's separated from the road, off to the right of each side of the road. Because going up and down I-69, because we go up and down there all the time to go to Jasper, there's nothing there. There's plenty of room, and there's not even anywhere to park. There's not truck stops really. There's one truck stop, I think, at 231. There's hardly any places to stop. There's nothing. And I thought, and it's even limited salt. It says, hey, we're not even going to salt this road very much. And then there's nowhere to stop. So they could do better about that. Well, we do pay for roads and infrastructure, maybe company and owners along with the government. One, we do pay for roads and infrastructure. So if they're going to do that, let's do it. There's no reason why a lot of these places couldn't have a lot more parking built in. It wouldn't take much room, especially out west. Yes, didn't pay. They changed it to paid parking lot. No signs outside, just a piece of paper taped to the door of the C-store. $1 a day, $1,000 a day impound fee. Oh, that's somebody that should talk to an attorney. Take a bunch of pictures, see the laws in that state or that municipality about signage, because there are actually laws about that. Before you get towed, there's certain signs that have to be up. Sometimes they have to be a certain size. They have a font. Some cities have a certain font that you have to use on the signs. For a $2,400 fee, overall, I would certainly spend a little bit of money and talk to a lawyer and see if what happened was legal, and maybe try to get your money back. A sign taped to the C-store. What if you don't go in the C-store? So that's worth a lawyer. Apparently you got back into your car too, so you were able to get over there. Meanwhile, I don't like parking my truck at the company yard due to equipment being keyed. The same as somebody steals my stuff and I'm not taking my stuff in and out. Yeah, that's crazy. All the keys work, all the trucks. So one key opens every truck. I guess then if you lose a key, you can get in there. James Booty Judge will fix it all. Booty Judge. I don't know who that is. Midlife trucker. Hey, what's going on? The problem isn't a shortage of parking. It's everyone waiting to park at the same time. Well, people do like to park in the evening. It's everybody's daytime, working. But sometimes they give you a weird load, and you don't have any choice but to park at like 1 a.m. Then what? If your load picks up at 1 a.m. and you're out of there at 2 a.m. and you're out of hours, you got to do something. So company, truck owner 83%, drivers 8% only, and government is down to 10%. So we still have the government at 10% of the people think the government. These same people just got their loans forgiven, apparently, that we're all going to pay for soon. One woman I was reading about that too. She had a loan for like 22 years, and she's like, I'm down to $100,000. She's a teacher. I'm like, wow, that's brilliant. So that's an aside, though. Cash is skiing trucking. He didn't go in the store, got an Uber to his house, came back, and his truck was gone. Yeah, you know what? That's worth at least him. Even if he doesn't want to talk to a lawyer, he should do some investigation. Some cities are really specific. The size of the sign, the shape, the font, the colors, where they have to be, how many there are, depending on how far it is and stuff. He may have something there, maybe. It's worth doing a little checking into for that kind of money. Oh, my gosh. And then, if he's right, he can have a lawyer write a letter. At 10 a.m., there's parking everywhere. Oh, that's true. That's true. At 10, there are. People, if you can run a reverse schedule, you can park. You can always park at 10 in the morning, no matter where you are, basically, unless you are in New York City, according to those drivers from the Trucking Association of New York, TANY. Budgeting for fines is a way to hide money from the old lady. Oh, they didn't say it like that. You shouldn't have to do that, though, right? I don't know what we're doing. Some people always, when something happens or whatever, and I don't have to go to work, and my friend will say, oh, now you can do whatever you want. I'm like, what do I want to do that I can't do? So you shouldn't have to hide any money from anybody. If you plan to run max hours, it may be worth reserving a spot. People are like, if you own the truck, certainly, then yes. But if you know you're going to be somewhere, and I'd probably, they would probably fire me. Companies wouldn't like it. I'd be like, look, if I'm going to go there, you're dispatching me, so I have to show up there at 11 p.m. or whatever, and I'm not going to be able to find parking. So if you're not going to pay, I'm going to have to park, 4 hours away to get a parking spot. And that's how we're going to run out of hours here. But the companies just wouldn't like that. And the downside of that is it cuts your own check. See, they've got this whole boondoggle of pay per mile sitting around, and so you basically have no choice but to go do it. We're shippers and receivers that have more parking at these businesses, Mark. Yeah, these places, especially food service places, where there's trucks lined up down the street or whatever, the business ought to get fined for that. Why is everybody having an 11 p.m. appointment or whatever the same time? Tell that business, you cannot have people lined up on the street here. They're waiting for you. Ooh, and as we go up here, we're at 84% now. The owner, now drivers at 7. All right, government 9. It's getting close between drivers and the government. If shippers and receivers had plenty of parking or would get people done faster, we wouldn't have as much problem as well. If you could actually drive. That's why I always wondered why these companies don't do this, but we see because they don't pay anything. Large companies, you'd think, would just want you to come into town. Most large carriers have a terminal in a lot of cities. They just drop a trailer and then leave and have some of their local drivers run the trailers to be delivered. But why should they do that when they can have over-the-road drivers sit there for little money when their local drivers are getting hourly, usually, and sometimes overtime? You do not have to drive 11 hours, but if you do, you need to plan well. People are not good planners. As we see, that was just out the other day. This guy hit this bridge. It has all kinds of signs and everything. That's out there now. The sign, and they showed the sign on the bridge, says 12 feet right on the bridge, 12'0". There's all kinds of signs leading up to it. He still hits it. So planning, people can't even see a sign right in front of them. Planning ahead, people just think, the computer, everything will tell me what to do now. All the technology. We had to sit there with a book. A sextant. We'd have to get at night. You'd have to get a sextant out to figure what you're doing. You don't have to do any of that anymore. We need Sherpas in large urban areas like the ones in the Himalayas. We can call them parking Sherpas. I don't know why companies don't do it other than right now they don't have to because of the pay. Minimum wage would be $24 an hour if it was increased every year for inflation since 1968. Oh, nice. That's pretty good. There are some local jobs like in Indy paying that kind of money. With that settlement, Pam could have added some rest areas in Heartland Express. Juan, yeah, with the settlement, that's every time Pam settles with people, that's rest area money that they're putting out there. Pam, they probably settled again today. Fleet Nav Systems, hey, switch back to Monday, so hope everyone is doing well. And we're just in here for a short period, just wanted to talk about parking today. But it's good to see you out there. Of course, drivers should pay. Falls in line with race to the bottom. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just have the employees pay it. The thing is, employees are paying it. And so companies are like, that had to be like the first company. What's the suggestion? Well, let's have drivers pay parking. And the boss like, they're not going to pay parking. And he's like, yes, they will. All right, Johnson, we're going to try it out, but they're not going to do it. And it turns out they did it. They're like, you guys have to pay to park. Our truck, you're going to pay to park it every night on the road. And the driver's like, oh, okay, all right, I guess that's part of trucking. That's what people will tell me. It's just trucking. Fleet assistance, yeah. At night, you'd have to get out a sextant to be able to find your way around. Now, you don't have to do that anymore. Boy, those are the days. Roger Penske, the best answer to work local, problem solved. Not enough money to get me to be at work 24/7 and not be paid for my time. I have a life again. Isn't it something? You get your life back. It's like a reverse country song. Computers are smarter than a 5-year-old wiener. They're smarter than a lot of people. How long should it take after a class action lawsuit makes a decision to get paid? It depends on the court. Once the court approves in that, it doesn't take that long usually for them to start sending their money out. They get a date. They have to notify everybody. Then they send checks out or whatever. Yeah, it doesn't take long. This smaller one like this doesn't take as long. It took a little longer. The Swift one, which was one of the biggest ones I've ever seen, took them a few months because it was $100 and something million. Use your points to get paid parking if you need it. Company bought the fuel. Yeah, kind of. I'm kind of with you on that. It is the company paying for the fuel. The points, though, when you ask the truck stop, it's a loyalty point for the driver's benefit. So, the truck stop is putting it out there like something for you, where, anything that's for the driver shouldn't be used for the employer. I'm just opposed to letting the employer get away with stuff. And what if I don't have the points? Maybe I only have 150 points and it's $15 to park or something like that. Should they pay part of it? Gold Picard, nice. Picard. Should there be a law put through the Commerce Department that requires business zoning to include designated overnight parking to a percentage of the overall traffic? Wow. See, but what if we have overflow? These companies, part of it is their planning. They schedule everybody when they open. Everybody be here at 5 in the morning. Some drivers don't look past the hood. Yeah, they don't think about anything. They're like, oh, I'll just punch the address and it's probably fine. Companies need to add the parking fee to the load while booking it, million miler. Well, the thing is, when we look at these companies' bottom lines, it's not like they're hurting, except for U.S. Express, apparently. We see, again, record profits being put out there. So, if there's some parking going on, maybe they could pay for their own equipment to be parked. Every time Pam settles a suit, a driver gets a free hat. We'd all have a lot of hats. I'll tell you. They're probably settling at one again right now in the next 5 minutes. James, more trucker YouTube creators need to demand driver be paid hourly with overtime. Well, drivers themselves. I demand it, but the drivers themselves need to demand it. That's the thing of it. Drivers need to demand it. I don't know why drivers don't say, hey, this free stuff, that's got to go. It's for the birds. You may need to think about a split check. Yeah. Hey, you pay for part, I'll pay for part of it. Cash is King Trucking, as a business owner, yes, you have those internationals for lease. I would pay for drivers' parking, but I would take it out of their check and charge them the state maximum of interest, Mr. Grabstyle. That's nice of you. That is good of you. I will say that. It is planning. It is planning. I pay for space 1 to 2 times a week, and it's worth it. I think it is worth it, depending where you're parking, right? For 12, 15, even $20, if that saves you a few hours of time, people never calculate their hours out. If you had to pay $20 and it saved you 2 hours, that should be worth it. It's only $10 an hour. You make more than that. That's worth it. Time value of money. Shipper and receiver pull a lot of crap on driver and trucking company too. Yes, because people allow it. 11.8.com. This was a different one. This was on like CDL Life. This was a different 12-foot bridge, but I agree with you. I've seen that one. This is some semi-driver from Canada, and he hit a bridge. I guess he thought 12 meters maybe it said. I don't know. One, because I thought about that. Does this guy think it's meters? What if a driver pays for parking with fuel points by fueling the company truck? Yeah, but, maybe. Because the pilot, all of them, they say this is a benefit to the driver for fueling there. Deep Prince, hello. Hey. Million Mile and Nichelle Nichols' remains will be launched into deep space after being cremated. Yes, I heard about that. Scotty's gone there as well, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. There's only 3 left of the original main cast. Norman Waller. Pay for parking, but my company reimburses me like a scale ticket. Okay, that's better than some. I'd still like to see him advance it, where you don't have to grab money out of your own pocket. Like, you don't fuel the truck and get reimbursed, right? People would never do that. Well, I'm not. That's $500 or whatever. Right. Yeah. Who runs the plazas? I wonder how much money they bring in. Rest areas could be the same way. Look, they sold the Indiana Toll Road to China for like $800 trillion or whatever it was. Not that long ago. All right, the companies are doing so well. We need to redistribute income. No, Midlife Trucker. Companies are doing well, and the company owns the truck. It isn't redistributing income. I'm asking them to pay an expense for their own equipment. I'm not asking them to pay my expense. I didn't send me somewhere. They did. It's their load that they make money on. So whatever the cost of making the money on that load should be borne by the company. That's what I'm saying. What do you know about Meijer, CDL jobs? I heard that they started $75,000 the first year in a 5-day work week. I don't know. The only person I ever talked to at Meijer was a U.S. Express driver. They ran out of Meijer in Michigan. And he liked it, but he was assigned to Meijer from U.S. Express. I don't know any actually Meijer drivers, and they don't hire them out of here. So I don't know. Pam was one a garbage disposal company. They wish. Parking an abandoned U.S. Air Force base like Rome, New York. Oh, all right. I covered the truck hitting the 12-foot bridge in my trucker news this morning. It was in Kansas City. Oh, was it? It was the Canadian guy? Gold Picard. Make it so. How about from the moment you check in a customer, the time you check out, all drivers are switched to an hourly pay? How about you just get paid hourly all the time? Then you don't have to switch to hourly pay. If you were paid hourly plus overtime all the time, you wouldn't switch to hourly pay. You'd already be on hourly pay. What about paying $50 to park at a truck stop that charges the admission fee and reservation spot? You know, I don't know why truck stops don't sell some kind of monthly fee as well. Maybe some of them should. For so much a month, I don't know, $100, you get unlimited reserved parking. How about that? It'd be nice to see them do that. And then, so Pilot Flying J, PFJ, sold that for $100. Then you could park at any of them reserved for 30 days. You get like a 30-day thing, maybe. See, so we're about wrapped up. Company, truck owner 82%, driver employee at 9%, and the government at 9%. Very close between the driver and the government. And maybe we could split it with Papa Joe. Hit a bridge? Well, if the bridge didn't want to be hit, don't call Canadian snow waves. Oh, dang. Who is calling them that? That is something. My company reimbursed for showers because we fuel at Penske. Oh, that's pretty good, right? Are there not showers at Penske locations? They had an ad just today. I was just looking at an ad today for them in Plainfield. Penske has an ad. I remember that. Michael, the trucking guy. We wouldn't sit at a shipper so long if we were hourly. That's exactly correct. You'd get out of there. It seems like companies would want you to get out of theirs because they have to pay you. The only reason you sit now is because people will sit for free. So that has to change. But it's gotta be a Michael Jackson thing, right? Where you have to take a look in the mirror and make that change yourself. You got to demand that's how it works. So there's the poll wraps up right there. That's why I always park at the Loves. No paid parking plus good Wi-Fi. Excellent. How about parking in front of a federal building to prove a point? What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, those guys do it in Washington, D.C. Especially if you parked like a U-Haul out in front of a federal building. Oh, hourly pay. Get paid for being at work and not for actually accomplishing. How's that work with quiet quitting? I don't know. I mean, I think that the company can assign you to do things. Like, I get paid hourly, so if the company asks me to do something, I go do it. If they don't have anything for me to do, that's not my problem. They should let me go home. If they say, hey, wait here, we got something later, then I got to get paid. All I'm saying is that if a company asks me to stay there, I should get paid. That's not my problem. They don't have anything to do, that they're incompetent. I'm ready to work. I'll go deliver loads all day, but if you go, this isn't going to be ready for a couple hours, well, you still got to pay me. You're taking my time. I hate when trucks are on the shoulder and just randomly merge into traffic. Yeah, they just come right out. Hey, Mark, nice to be catching the stream. Christopher, yeah, stream about to end. As soon as you sign up for a parking subscription, you get every load where you can park and pick up a delivery. I think it's not a bad idea, and I'm surprised they don't do it. B-Man Hemi forever. Me and my wife want to become team drivers, just not sure who to start with. Yeah, I've had several people go to Swift and have very good luck there as teams because one goes and you can then train your spouse when they come. So I've had several people go there. Work at a company, a Penske lease truck, good pay, canceled at least 2015. Only place I've seen grown man cry when they closed. Yeah, never cry over a job or spilled milk. Reserved U-Haul and Cessna parking at your local IRS office. Yeah, don't take those to Oklahoma City. truck too soon for that. Cash is king. Truck stops need to start numbering paid parking spots so they're assigned. I'm tired of getting in there in the middle of the night and someone's in a spot and didn't pay for it. And they all need to boot people out of there immediately. Be constantly checking. You should have to put something on your truck or give them your plate or something. Creep has billboards in Nevada saying you can make $102,293. Creep. That's very precise. Yeah, Creep Trucking, which is Crete. That is very exact. And you know what? If I made $102,292, I'd go into the office and gripe at the end of the year. Hey, you guys are liars. What is going on? No matter how you get paid, you should be paid for your time. Exactly, for all of your time. Got to run. I hope you have a great week. It's good to see here, Fleet Nav Systems. Yes, Creepy Joe is here. When I came local, I asked the drivers of my current company, overtime was good. They replied, there's do much overtime, you won't want it anymore. They were not lying. Yeah, once you get past 50 hours, the week gets really long. That's not worth it. Funny thing is, it's not like the compensation isn't known before accepting the job. I agree, right? I don't accept jobs where they don't pay me. Many drivers do, but I don't do that. And I don't recommend people do that, where there's like a bunch of free time where you're working for the company and not being paid. And I consider delivering a load and all as work time. So if they're taking my time up where I can't do anything else, that's work and it should pay. But I agree with you. Don't accept a job up front. You should always get all the particulars. Smith Transport looking for team running Chicago to Dallas for $2,200 guarantee. Well, there's one way to do it. Are there tolls on I-70 in Colorado to 15? There's a toll road. Let's see if anybody knows that. There's a story about Crete. They say 50% of the drivers make $100,000 a year or more, and some make $102,293 exactly. Truckers getting paid hourly. Hold on now, Mark. You're talking logical. I'm asking for people to get paid for their time. That's it. If a company takes your time, they should give you something for the time that they're taking from you. Here's a number for Smith Transport right there. So you can give them a call. Let's see. Oh, Fleet Nav Systems was here today. I have to head on out and see what's going on at work. I wanted to see about this today. Cash is King Trucking is here today. Thank you for that. I appreciate you coming here today. And let's see. Don't forget about Jay. Jay, Auto Transport Intel, right? We cannot forget about Jay. And if you wear it, make it a parrot with my bell that needs to be replaced. So, but I wanted to see about parking because I saw that. I go, that isn't right. Company needs to pay for expenses for their equipment. That's all I'm saying. Truck expenses, they pay. They pay. Let's see. Speed bumps. I've seen the 63 mile an hour slow trucks doing 63 in the parking lots. Yeah, because here again, the slower you take the truck when people are paid mileage, then they go out speeding, I think. All these large Heartland and Millis, they all have a lot of terminals. Planning that is better too, parking at a truck terminal. If you're at a place with a lot of terminals, go park at one of their terminals. And you won't, generally not going to have to pay. Some of them have truck washes, where you can run through the wash. Creepy Joe averages 70 hours in a 5-day work week, overtime after 40. That's a big check, but that's a long week. That's amazing. I mean, in your 80s, that's pretty good too. The carrier isn't paid by the hour rather than by the mile. Midlife trucker. How the carrier is paid, though, as an employee, I could care less how they're paid, to be honest with you. That's their problem. I'm paid for my time. If they want to have some different way to get their money from whoever they're getting it from, that's between the two of them. That has nothing to do with me. I get paid for my time. My time is valuable. And so they shouldn't be able to take it from me for nothing. That's what I'm saying. If they get paid by the mile, well, that's up to them. I don't mind that. Your Bell, Bell has palsy. That's good. That's good. Bell's palsy, right. Now I'll be getting emails from the Bell's Palsy Association. Justin, we could spend just a fraction of what has been dumped into the Ukraine this year and have massive parking lots, just like you see along the Ohio Turnpike. Those are good. They have showers, free. Last time I was there. Laundry, which you have to pay for. Plenty of parking, food. They're great. I would always plan that for planning. Coming across thing, all right, I'm going to stop at that plaza, outside Toledo or whatever, whichever one, I was thinking about, and know where I would have parking. I could park at Heartland, Millis, and CFI, and Smith Transport terminals. Right. Now you get all these extra terminals because they're buying everybody up. Has that worked out for you? His career. Exactly. Not carrier. Right. Yeah, that's how it works. Right. So let's see. Who was out there, right? I had that. Oh, right. And Mr. Plow was first today, so I have to head out to work and see what's going on there. Midlife Trucker, thank you for being here today. A Million Miler was here today. Justin was in here today. Donkey Bite. And thank you, everyone, for participating in the poll. Turns out it's mostly company drivers should not pay. Creepy Joe was here today. Back to nap time, probably. Jeff was here. Jeff Braze, Joe, thank you for being here. Cash is King Trucking, I appreciate it. Joan Harper, Colorado. Did anybody get that answered for that? I know there's a toll road. I don't exactly know where it is. Fleet Nav Systems was here today. Haven't seen you for a while. Mark Lindquist, thank you for being here. Henry scored. Hey, it's good to see you here today. B-Man Hemi forever. Chrysler's all the way. It's good to see you. Christopher, thanks for being here. Luke, 1, 2, 3, 4. Norman Waller. So Donkey Bite, we have to head on out to work and see what's going on. I want to thank everybody for being here. There'll be more of these coming up with topics. Podcast was out today, and I hope you'll check it out. And we will see you on the next one. Thanks for being here.